Today we're going to look at one of our presets, the preset called Wipe. And it's because we have a user that finds all the different controllers rather confusing. So I saw that we absolutely have nothing about Wipe in our ebook. Yeah, let's make this video. When we open Wipe, we see this user interface, and it is the standard, except we do not have any pitch. We can't pitch Wipe as we can in almost all the other instruments in Elements. And also, when you look at Wipe, you probably think, that looks rather primitive. It isn't. It isn't a primitive plugin at all. It's actually a rather advanced plugin, and the interface is not all that advanced, but the plugin is pretty advanced and has some very neat features. It is made for emulating everything with strings. That is mean that anything that you can hit and make a sound out of it that will gradually decay over time. So it has a very fast attack and a decay over time. So the best thing to compare it to would be a guitar string that you hit, but also actually if you hit a solo string on a piano, that will also be the way that this works. But the decay default is very long, but we can change that. If we start up here, we have string, and you can see here that string 1 is green. That's because this is what will control string 1, meaning that string 1 at the moment has a sine wave, but we can change that hour here. We can change it to any one we want, actually, even noise. And if it should be, we can change it, we can use our own wave shape here with the plus. Then you get a chance to insert your own wave shape from we, for instance, have a folder called wave shapes default, so you can use one of those. So it's actually wavetable. With table, why? Well, because we can also use string 2, and we could insert a little bit of a different wave of the one we had in tape 1. String 1. And then we have 9 of these. But here's a very important thing to observe, because when I change to string 2 here, of course this changes because this is now the default for string 2, but string 2 is not invoked. We have to invoke string 2 here. Now string 2 is invoked in the combined output. We can see here, if I go back to string 1, I'll take that way there. So if we go back to string 1 and play that, hear this, and if I go back here now and put string 2 on, and I can give it a rather powerful sound here. It should be the same. It's not in. I have to remember to put that guy on. Then it's in. So when you add a new string and you make something here, you have to remember to add the string into the combined output. Good. But it's even more advanced than that, because you can draw your own shape here. See? And try that too. course we could go back and say how does that sound, so we can take that out, we can take that out. Now we only have string 3, this strange thing I draw. Kind of the same thing we get from here. A little bit. Yes. Then we have this guy here. This is octave. We can change octave on a string. Let's go back here to string 1. And I can say I want to have that -1 octave. Let it goes. Get 2 octaves. Oh, I have to take it in. 1 octave, that is unchanged. We can take it to 3 octaves. Or we can so those are octaves up to 7 octaves, and that's pretty crazy actually. But we can also detune one string up. Just one work with one string actually. So we get that out already, and that's in. So we can take that guy in. So now we have one string. One very silent string. We can detune. We go back to without any octave. So that is the chamber sound. We can detune here. Like that. And when I click my middle mouse, all controllers in Elements will go to default here. Click, and it's default again. So you can always do that in all controllers. Then we have down here we have something called length. That's the length of the string. And I'm not a guitar player, so I don't know if this is you can hear that the string the sound changes. I don't know if that's normal if you make a string longer. I'm sorry, I don't know. We have the volume for the string, we have it here. And then we have something called string stiffness. And if you make a string more stiff, it'll cling out faster. That's logic. So we can hear that if I hold the key down, as you can see, and then I make it stiff. Oh. It's much faster clinging out. It's not the decay, it's actually the string that is not taking so much energy from the pick. And talking about picks, we have pickups. We have pick position. This means that where do you pick it on the picking board. Again, someone with a lot of knowledge of guitars would have to tell if this is. I suppose you're moving up the neck of a guitar. I don't know. But default, that is the. And we have pickup position, meaning where is the pick up placed on the I suppose, electric guitar. And you can probably do a lot of things with that too. You can pan the sound. That's just as any other pan from left to right, like right to left. And you can slap on the string. Making it, I think, a little bit more crisp. And that is actually the interface of the plugin. But of course we can then start to go into our envelope. That is a standard elements envelope and LFO that almost all our instruments have, except those that is based on VST, because they can't have that kind of envelope. We of course would first have to set it up as a string instrument, and that means very short attack, no hold, a decay over time, it has that, and it doesn't have a sustain. And we probably need a little bit of rel just to make sure it doesn't click. And we need to throw up the amplitude for this envelope, and then it goes there. Now this is the envelope that takes over the duration of the decay of the string. You can see if I turn it off like that, we're back to the very long decay default on white. But we can place our envelope and make an envelope that is more, I don't know, guitar-like. We can of course increase the decay, and we get a much longer time before the sound will decay to 0. There's also the chance of setting up an LFO, of course, because we can always do that. We have to put an amp on it, and this will make an LFO with a very long oscillation. You can hear. But if we instead lower the oscillation, we'll get something that sounds a little bit like vibrator. So we also have the opportunity to set a filter, and we can see default we have low pass, but in all, yeah, well, it's outside the view, but I can't move it up. We have all the filters that we have in all instruments, so we can try a high pass, for instance. It'll say nothing here because we have the frequency up completely, so I'll move the frequency down to here. Now we get that output, and we have the opportunity to set our resonance, which is called Q. It gets more crisp, and we'll also have a kind of metallic sound, right? And any other of these will of course give another result, another output. And of course we can use all our we can use any of these up here, and you have to remember that This is just for the volume. You also have envelope for the cutoff, and you have for the resonance. So you can experiment a lot with the envelopes and the LFO, and make some very interesting effects just with those. And of course you can add um, effects from well, it could be the default effects, or it could be some that you have downloaded from the net, VST type. As long as it's VST2, you can use them on this plugin as well, and make your own presets. And when you have done that, you save your preset up here. Just save the current instrument. That's a new preset file, and you should put that into your presets over here. My what did it say? Sorry, there it is. My bad eyes. My presets, and then you have made yourself a new instruments that you can use in every project that you make. And well, that's about it, I guess. We don't have to say much more about this. So you can hear that you can get some very interesting sound out of wipe, and that's even before we add another string to it, right? We can try and add something like this, crisp this guy up there, and then play. Very interesting sound, I think. And you have 9 different strings you can add to the combined output of wipe. Yes, as always, you can ask for more in the comments, or you can ask for another video with another topic. And with that, I will just say have a nice day and bye bye.